believe I've showed you bung setups before, but I'll show you a very, very close up this time. I can I can see my hands actually now, so I know I'm actually in the right spot. What we're going to do, first but not least, is attach the bung. Now to do this, simply slide these little connectors. You can see that. They go up the line, and they always go narrow end first. Yeah, so your narrow end like that, like a cone, the cone end goes up it first. Now we already know these fish aren't deep down, so we're not going to go silly with this. This little end then goes inside the cone, and that is that end of the bung attached. So all you do, pop that off, slide it on, if I can see, sorry, slide it, yeah, there you go, slide it in, let it run up the line, the bung will come back up towards your hands, like that, and then pop it on, pull it tight, that's it, done. That's the bung attached. Now, again, we're going to need, we're going to use 2 flies again, so I'll get a little bit more leader line out. What was the chances of that? Put that in there. Now this time I will say, last time I fished it quite deep. This time we're going shallow. A, because of the weed problem. B, because of the fish problem. They're very sitting high in the water. So I'm going to go, that is only about, yeah, a foot from there to there. So we're going to say a foot. Well, last time it was about 6 foot, this time it's a foot. Simple water knot again. I won't, hopefully, this time it'll be a bit easier because the line's a bit shorter. But it's proving that is not the case. And it's also really hard to do this and remind yourself your hands are on camera. There's 1 through. There's 2 through. Now, a lot of people say 2. I always say 3. It doesn't take any more effort. And there you go. You'll end up with your loop, like such as that. You'll pull it to its halfway done, or well, 3/4 of the way tight, like that. Little figure of 8. See that figure of 8? If you can see, you know, it's a bit. Yeah. Give it a little dampen and pull. And then that's the end result. There you go, that's better. That's the end result. Nice and done. Nice and tight there. Again, we trim the top arm, not the bottom arm, end that goes towards the bung. If it points towards the bung, you're chopping the right one. You'll end up with something that looks a bit like that. Little tag end, and then your fly end. Now that is a bit excessive, but like a bit of room. So, looking at the conditions and picking flies, the water's green and murky, not very nice. On the point, 9 times out of 10 you'll find my old friend the chamois worm. This one's a bit battered, but we'll use him anyway. And for the next fly, I'm going to go with orange. Yeah, I'm going to go with orange because it's a nice bright attractor. That was a daft thing to do, Dan. It's a nice bright attractor. It's an orange egg by RJW, and the chamois is from Trout Fly. So we've got two of my favourite fly tyers coming together, or fly tie suppliers, I should say, fly suppliers coming together in one line. So there's a super team of flies. They do work incredibly well together, these two flies. So that's our dropper. Now for the dropper, I always tend to use the egg. Now the reason for that is it's what the fish see first. So you want your buzzer further down. You want your point fly has got to be I find the less attractive one. I don't know why that is, but it seems to work for me. Maybe I'm talking crap there, but that could be the one. That loop looked a bit weak then, so I'm just going to give it a good few more turns. There we are. That's that. Here's me just taking the mic, try to tie a knot as per usual. Again, 2 years later, as the things always say on SpongeBob. And there is a lovely attached chamois. As I said, this one has seen better days, but it's been attacked by a lot of fish, which, to be honest, adds character, and it's proven glory. Now, I will also say that orange egg is a bit of a sad moment. RJW flies, if you're listening, a bit of a sad moment. The previous fly I had of this exact pattern, I caught 35 rainbow trout on it over obviously various trips. 35 rainbow trout on one fly, and it wasn't broken, it was still going, and it got snapped off while I was fishing at the big lake at the weekend. It snapped me off. So not only did I get snapped off, I also lost my favourite fly. One of my favourite flies, so there's a bit of a kick in the teeth for me. Let's get back to the fishing.